Christmas memories.
Hi, I'm Chantel with 141 Design Company, and in this episode we're going to fully finish this Bringing Home the Tree chart from Stitching with the Housewives. We'll be using press-on board to create our hanging display, 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back. We'll also be using a smaller piece with some batting on it. And the method I'm going to use to construct the entire thing is with a glue gun. We're going to attach our backing fabric to the press-on board first. The press-on board size for this stitch will be 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 for the backer. We're going to line it up right on the diagonal of the Chelsea's Checks fabric with a sticky side down so that it'll stick. We'll smooth it out and make sure our alignment is just right. That's looking pretty good. Now we'll smooth it out and make sure we don't have any wrinkles. And now to finish this with a glue gun method, we're going to bring the corners in first. Then we'll do the sides. I'm using a Surebonder glue gun and I'll use just a small amount here in the corner. Pull the corner down and smooth it out so that we don't have a lot of bump in the way from the glue, because we're going to put these back to back to create a sandwich board for hanging our display on. We're going to go all the way around and do all 4 corners. Once we have our corners glued down, then we're going to bring in the sides. We'll bring in the sides in across from each other first and then do the others. Then we'll come back and we'll work on the mitered corners. Again, we're just using a tiny little bit of glue. This helps with burning your fingers too. If you don't have so much glue, you don't tend to burn your fingers as much, even though it still can happen. So be careful when you're using the glue gun. Fix our other side. Tuck those down right there and fold it over. I try to pull it down a little snug so that I've got a nice tight fit. And now we'll do the other sides. I'll put a little bit underneath that and kind of tuck it down the edge there. It'll give me a nicer fold for the corner when I'm doing the mitered corners. Fold it over and give it a good press. Turn it over. Make sure that our alignment is still okay. Now see these corners? We're going to take care of those in a minute. First we'll get this other side down. There we go. And see, these will both be covered in fabric, and then we'll sandwich them together to create kind of a front and a back for the hanging sign that we're making. To tuck in the corners and get a nice crisp fit, what we're going to do is manipulate them a little bit here to get it started, then open it up, kind of doing a finger press, tuck some glue in on either side, and then press them in towards each other as tight as we can get it. And then I'll press that down with my thumb. I kind of pull down a little bit and it makes it pretty tight. So we've got a nice crisp corner. And we'll flatten it out because again, we don't want a lot of bulk and bump from the glue gun in between these because we want our boards to fit really flush together. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So now we'll go around and do all of the other corners the same way. I've left this portion of the video in real time so that you can see how I work to get a good fit and to make my seams nice and crisp and tight. We'll repeat this process, but I'm going to go ahead and speed that up later on.
Whoa, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, 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 la da da da, oh, 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 la da da da, making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree. And I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh. Christmas memories. Yes, these are the good times with you. Don't even care what we do if I spend it with you. Just you and nobody else. It's so good to see you again. To see you again. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire, chill. endless memories.
The leftover cording from going around my back pieces is what I'm going to use as a hanger. So right now I'm just kind of adjusting it. I'm going to glue it right onto the front of this, and then I will put the stitch on top of it to sandwich it in between. I'm adjusting it so I've got the right distance for hanging, and then putting it right in the middle. I just eyeballed it, but then I decided to grab a piece of paper and just kind of, you know, sketch a little line, make sure I was close, and it looks like I'm dead on. So what do you know? Pretty good there. Now I'll glue it down, tack it into place, get it just right, because like I said, we're going to sandwich this hanger part. I'm going to trim this cording where the knot was. It's going to unravel if I didn't have it glued down, so I made sure I had the glue down first. Now we're going to put a little extra on there just to make sure. Get it lined up, yep. Now I'll go around the entire back and add a bead of glue. Pop it into place, right on top of that cording to hide that, and get it adjusted quickly before the glue sets up. Go ahead and give it a good press so that all of the sides connect well. We don't have any gaps in the back, or in between, I guess, the stitch in the back. Looking good. And I don't think it needs anything else on the top, so we're just going to, this is where I connected it. It's not the best, but it'll be hidden underneath there. We gotta paint this stand now. So this stand is brand new in our shop. This is the small 12-inch mini stand, and I'm going to paint it using the DIY paint in the color Black Velvet. DIY paint is a chalk and clay based paint, and it's highly pigmented. It dries really quick and it's very thick. It's going to go on in with just one coat. This is going to cover fantastically. I'm going to cover all of the sides, even the burnt edges. We'll use up what's on the lid first and this painted. You can tell how good the coverage here is with just one coat application. The markings that you're seeing on the boards, these do come to you unsanded, so the black is covering that fantastically. If you were going to use white for this stand, you might want to go ahead and sand the laser marks, the burnt marks off first so they don't bleed through, but with the black it's not a problem. I just paint right over it. This is a stand I already had assembled and put together, so I went ahead and painted it after the fact. Sometimes I will paint things before I assemble them, but this worked out perfect just to paint it after. It's looking good. Once it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and take this sander, and I've used a very fine sandpaper. Once I've distressed it, I'm going to put that clear coat on it. But this is my distressing technique. Basically, I just kind of go across the edges, and again, I'm using a very, very fine, high grit sandpaper so that I don't scratch the paint as much as just distress and sand and buff the paint. Now this chalk and clay based paint is very thick and dry, and it will be messy when you're sanding it, but the results are phenomenal. And it's really easy to distress. Very light pressure. And I do like a heavy distress look, so I kind of do a little bit extra here. If you didn't want the distress look, you could have just put the clear coat on. And here's our finished product. I've got the clear coat on it. You can see all the distressing. It is so cute, and it was just created using just the press-on board, but then with our new tabletop stand, it hangs just right. Thanks for joining me today as we created this cute little tabletop sign. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell for notifications. I've got a lot more to create, and I can't wait to share it all with you here on this channel.